So I've got another thought about Epstein and Trump that I want to run by you. I'm thinking about it, obviously the cover-up continues. Doesn't matter what they pass through Congress, doesn't matter what they pass and he signs, doesn't matter. He's not going to release anything that he doesn't want to release. And it makes me laugh really when some people say, well, he has to now because there's a law. What? He doesn't follow the law. Just because he signed this one doesn't mean shit. He's not going to comply with any law he doesn't want to comply with. Anyway, but I'm wondering, what exactly is it that he is trying so desperately to cover up? Now, I firmly believe that whatever it is so bad that he believes if it were released, it would destroy him. But I wonder if what he's afraid of is actually in the Epstein files. Because we don't know what the hell's in there. We don't know what this scumbag may have done, and we don't know what's in the files that the DOJ has. Now, it may very well be that something in those files is what he's afraid of coming out. But people have wondered, well, if that's the case, I mean, myself included, I've wondered this. He's a criminal. He doesn't care about destroying evidence. If there is something in there that's really bad and he's afraid of it getting out, why doesn't he just have it destroyed? I mean, certainly there's no shortage of people who will do his bidding. You think Pam Bondi is above destroying evidence if Donald Trump tells her to? No. So why doesn't he just destroy that stuff? Well, maybe it's because the DOJ doesn't actually have the stuff that he's worried about coming out. Consider this. We know for a fact that there are a lot of very rich and very powerful people named in those files. What if it's they who have the information about Trump that Trump is worried might come out? Okay, what if there's not actually anything about Trump that's really, really bad in those files? Or maybe there was and he's already had that destroyed. If that were the case, why doesn't he just release it all? Well, maybe it's because the stuff that he's really worried about, he doesn't have any control over. Maybe some of these rich and powerful guys have the stuff. And maybe they're in the Epstein files and admittedly, I'll stop myself in my tracks here. Yes, this is all speculation, admittedly, but follow me. What if it's these rich and powerful people who have the dirt on Trump that he's really afraid of coming out? And what if they said to him, look, buddy, we've got the goods on you. Don't you dare release anything about me from whatever's in those Epstein files. If you do, you're fucking done. I will destroy you. What I have, here's what I have, you orange piece of shit. You want this coming out? Then you better cover up those damn Epstein files, or at least what is in there about me, because if I go down, I'm bringing your fat orange ass down with me. Maybe, because look, Donald Trump has been a criminal scumbag his entire life, and he has hung out with a lot of other criminal scumbags who are very rich and very powerful, and he has done, I have no doubt, a whole lot of shady, illegal, sick shit with them. And, unlike Donald Trump, there's a lot of very rich and powerful people who are not also blithering idiots. In fact, most of them are not. And I would be surprised if some of these rich guys are in a situation where Donald Trump is doing some sick, twisted shit, that they wouldn't want to get that on video. Take some pictures or whatever, just in case. They do this to each other. They get the goods on each other just so that we can all keep each other in line, just as protection. Look, I need to protect myself. Nobody has ever had a high regard for Trump. Everybody thinks this guy is a lying, conniving, untrustworthy, criminal weasel piece of shit, right? Everybody throughout his entire life has known this about him. I don't know. I'm just saying. I think it is not implausible at all to think other people who might be named in those files have some really bad information about Donald Trump. Maybe videos, maybe documents, maybe pictures, maybe witness statements, who knows? And maybe it is they who are telling Trump, you better not release that stuff. Because that's the one thing that's always bothered me about all this stuff. If something is in there that's really bad about Trump, why didn't he just destroy it? And if he destroys that stuff, then why is he fighting so hard to cover them all up? Well, maybe it's because he's covering all this up on behalf of other people who are blackmailing him because they have the goods on him. I don't know. Just a thought. Trying to make sense of the information that we do know and to fill in the gaps, for everything that we don't know. And what we do know is that whatever the reason, this man is desperate to cover up those files. We also know he's a criminal and would have no problem with destroying evidence. So, putting those two things together, it just seems to me a plausible explanation for all this, that he's not actually covering up incriminating evidence against him in those files, because if it existed, I think it would have been destroyed, but because he is covering up incriminating evidence against other people who have the goods on him. And they have told him, you better cover it up, because if I go down, you're going down. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know.